in tailoring, it is a pretty much a brand, what do you want to call it? Maybe like an obvious copy and paste. A lot of the stuff that we're getting in here is pretty much identical to what we had in Dragonflight, which is not unexpected by any shape or form. But while we go over it, we're getting Unraveling again. This is currently not testable in the alpha, so we can't actually see how this is completely put together yet, what the different kinds of cloth are going to give. But if it's anything similar to what we had in Dragonflight, then we can kind of guess what that could be. We also have our Weaver Cloth bolts, which is kind of like Wilder Cloth bolts. And additionally, on top of that, we're going to get Dawn Weave bolts and Dusk Cloth bolts. And these are pretty much what Assure Weave bolts and Chrono Cloth bolts are. This is going to have a probably a daily crafting cooldown. And we can tell because of a not yet implemented talent tree, right? It says here, further improve your connection with Dawnweave, decreasing how quickly you exhaust the magic used to craft Dawnweave bolts. So it's pretty similar to what we saw with Chronocloth and Assure Weave. We don't really know how that is going to work yet, but yeah. We don't really know what we're going to get yet. We don't really have any idea, but still, it's cool to see. And then we have our blue crafted gear, which is for work orders and stuff. And we also have a slate of green crafted gear. We have some profession gear again for alchemy, chef's hat, enchanting, fishing, gardening, for herbalism, and tailoring gear. And we have blue versions of this, and we're going to have an epic version of this chest as well. And then we have some finishing reagents again for polishing cloth and pocket cloth. We don't really know what all these things are going to do yet because it's not implemented, but we know that they exist. So we have our material crafting, our gear crafting, our profession tools or profession gear crafting, unraveling, and then we have spell threads as well. So a little bit of consumables, right? What's up, Unholy This? And then bags. The new thing to tailoring, which we can see here on the alpha, is bags. And the reason I say that is bags are not new to tailoring, but the fact that we have, how many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different bags is certainly something, because currently in Dragonflight we have, 3? No, we have 4 actually. Wilder Cloth, the reagent bag, and then the 2 epic version, or the 2 rare versions. So going from 4 bags to 16 is quite a big difference. We can't actually tell the amount of slots that these bags have yet, because they don't say, and the actual pictures on all these bags are also not implemented. But as you can tell from the names, they have alchemy bag, enchanting bag, engineering bag, blacksmithing bag, herbalism. So obviously we're going to get some profession bags here, which is pretty cool. And then besides that, we're going to have, some regular bags that have some kind of an RP element, some kind of cool thing related to a zone or whatever, which is cool. I don't mind it at all. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not these profession bags are going to have more slots than regular bags. I hope they are. Otherwise, it's a little sad. But if you like crafting bags and tailoring, and I do, this is a lot of bags. I'm really excited about this. I'm kind of happy that tailoring is in a spot to be able to get this, which is pretty cool. But yeah, besides that, there's not really that much else to tailoring, because we also have our epic crafted stuff like we had in Dragonflight. Nothing new to see there. We have a couple of different optional reagents again, kind of like blue silken lining. We're going to have dawn thread lining or dusk thread lining, so they're going to do some different stuff. It's going to be like optional reagents that you're going to be able to add onto crafted gear. And that's pretty much it, right? We're also going to have a slate of green crafted PvP gear, so that's something. But that's pretty much it for tailoring when it comes to recipes. And when we actually we have 4 specialization trees again. And this one, Threads of Devotion, is your gear crafting one, right? That's purely gear crafting. Everything in here is if you want to do work orders and you want to craft gear. This is where you want to be. A lot of this stuff is not fully implemented yet, so we can't really test all of this stuff yet. But it's here. and this is where you want to be for gear. And then you have from dawn until dusk, and this is your daily crafting cooldown for bolts. Obviously, as we can tell here, harness the energy imbued in threads around Castlegar to make powerful cloth and gear and reagent items. So this might also be related to making your gear crafting a little better, but we can tell from these further down, and it says, become aware of salvaging scraps of dawnweave from humanoids around Castlegar and learn to craft dawnweave bolts. And further down we see, further improve your connection with dawnweave, decreasing how quickly you exhaust the magic used to craft said bolts, right? So it's almost exactly the same as you can see here. It actually says, learn to craft an Asher Weave bolt, which is obviously supposed to be Duskweave, but it says Asher Weave, so that also kind of gives it away. But it's here, right? So we know we're getting that, which is pretty cool if you're interested in that and you like that. And then we have quality cloth, and this is where you want to go if you're crafting either consumables, which is a spell thread, or optional reagents, finishing reagents, or if you want to get into unraveling. That's also where this is, right? Pretty similar to what we had. Nothing too crazy. This is probably also going to be for bags eventually because it's embroidery. And then we have efficient threading, and this is just general stuff that makes your profession better, right? This is more multi-crafting when you're doing tailoring patterns. This is, you can find cloth. You get better at finding cloth when you're just killing humanoids. And this is more resourcefulness when you're crafting with cloth goods. And this is more ingenuity, right? Which is the new profession stat. So this is just general stuff for the entire profession, which is a big part of where you're going to be a vast majority of the time. But still, tailoring looks pretty good. It's one of my favorite professions in the entire game, and it probably will be again. The fact that they added 14 extra bags I'm very excited. So, I mean, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me.